All right, what's up, my friends? Welcome to the series retrospective for Bronze to Mythic, March of the Machine. And I gotta say, overall, pretty enjoyable draft format. Pretty crazy, pretty wild. And obviously, I played at the Pro Tour. We did pretty well with this Bronze to Mythic run. We came in just at the over. Of course, the line for Bronze to Mythic is always 21.5 drafts. We came in at 22 drafts to Mythic, so just missed it. I know, right? And we had a pretty interesting run, honestly, where we started out well. 7-1, 3-3, 6-3, 5-3, 7-1, 6-3, up to platinum in 6 drafts, which is pretty good. Then we hit the platinum lull here. 2-3, 1-3, 6-3, 1-3, 2-3, 5-3. Pretty ugly, and I was like, oh my god, this is gonna be an ugly one. We came out of it pretty good, honestly. Came out of it pretty well into Diamond. Had a little snag at the end here, of course, and we had a really good chance of making the over. At this point, we were on our, what is this, 5, 10, 15, 16, yeah, our 17th draft. We were already at Diamond 2 and looking pretty good, but had a few stinkers in there, ended up making it in 22 drafts overall. With me a little over 24 hours. We came in at Mythic 655, which is pretty good, honestly. We had 8 trophies in the 22 drafts, went for a total record of 104 and 53 for a 66% win rate, which is pretty good. That's not too bad. So we're going to go back and look over at our stats here. You can see, again, this is all on untapped.gg. Download it for yourself. Use the link in the description. They sponsor me. They're phenomenal. You can track all your games with impeccable statistics, which is super, super cool. This is all free. Download it for yourself, untapped.gg. Please use the link in the description because they sponsor me, and they'll know I sent you there. All right? So you can see here, not surprising to me, honestly. We were 5-color the most. For an excellent win rate of 72%. I really like the 5-color green decks, and they did pretty well for us, obviously. We see blue-white here, our second most played deck at 73%. Black-white, actually, at 76%, with a decent sample size. And then dropping down to 1 draft each, right? So we got Abzan, Jund, 4-color, again, did well with the multicolor green deck. Esper, 7-1. 5 with the green-white. We had the 80% win rate with blue-green, which is pretty interesting. That's the deck that's up right now, I think. Little Boros. Not so good with Boros. Not so good with green-black. Bant, Sultai, Jeskai, and then red-green. And we'll go into that in a little bit about my overall thoughts on the format. Color-wise, I think it's definitely a Sultai format. Blue and black, best colors by far. Very deep, great rares. Whereas red and white are kind of coming up the rear as the worst 2 colors, and they're very, very narrow in what they can do because some of the pairs aren't very good. So, for example, green-white and red-white are just not really where you want to be. Both those decks just can't turn the corner fast enough without a lot of really, really good rares and uncommons. So when you're first pick a white card, you're kind of stuck in that, like, you want to be either blue-white or black-white. Those are kind of the 2 paths you can go. You're kind of cut off from green-white and red-white because they aren't very good. Same with red. Don't want to be red-white. Red-green, not very exciting either. It can be okay, but not super great. Red-blue can be fine if you're convoking. Red-black can be kind of cool if you're sacrificing. But red-white, red-green, not so great also. So definitely a lot more flexibility for picking a blue or black card, which is kind of interesting to see. We can go through here, just look at our decks real fast. First deck was obviously an absolute masterpiece. If you didn't watch episode 1 of his Bronze to Mythic, you're screwing up, honestly. Double Invasion of Alara, ridiculous 5-color deck. Some obviously awkward card choices here. For example, Invasion and Morgantha, not very good in this deck. And a few others. Honestly, though, a lot of the early features of the green decks that I really like are here, though. Herbology Instructor, Portent Tracker, Blight and Burgeoning, Overgrown Pest, War Historian, Invasion Zendikar. These are all cards that I like a lot in the green decks. So we're kind of on the right path to start off. Got a lot of lands here, so very hard to top that one. Second deck was blue-red, kind of like Invoke-y stuff. Deck looked kind of okay. Message, a little higher curve than I would like. Harried Artisan, not too good. Double Champion, Double Eyes, that's pretty good, though, honestly. This deck seems pretty good. I'm not surprised this deck only went 3-3. But deck number 3 was red-green. Again, not a big fan of red-green, really. We had Coglin Yadar, which is pretty good. We're splashing for an invasion, which is fine. And Shieldred, just your average splash of shield. It's actually a Jund deck, I'm sorry. And definitely looking a little awkward here. I got some Thespians, but Wasn't really impressed with Invasion of Urgamon. Honestly, a lot of the battles, like Invasion of Morgantha, also kind of eh. But, you know, it's just fine. It's okay. Green White was next, and Green White, you really need a lot of good uncommons or rares to make this that good. Negotiator is very good. Negotiator, Desolation Duelist. It's funny because like this is like an almost ideal looking red green white deck. I feel like we have a lot of the good pieces. Storm of Seed Core, you know, a lot of good stuff building up to our, you know, you got Billy Riders and Brawler and West Despians and stuff, but just went 5-3 because just not the best archetype, honestly. We got a trophy with Black White next. Honestly, I think the Black White, if you're like the heavy Phyrexian deck, is one of the best ways to build a white deck. Grafted Butcher. This is the one deck that Phyrexian Sense was actually good in. Skull to Perfection, etc., etc. Phyrexian, Gargantuan, Norn's Inquisitor, really, really good. Sanctifier is pretty good also. So, good looking deck and good looking result, which is nice. Next up was Abzan. Honestly, a fairly similar deck, splashing green for Invasion of Lauren. This one didn't do as well, but still pretty good. Lure is obviously excellent. A lot of rares in this format, you know. Really got to try and maximize your rares. Stake open's pretty important. Bant was next. Again, this is just a multicolor green deck. Galt is a kind of card you can get late. Vorinclex. Big fan of Mutagen Connoisseur, which is pretty awesome. Honestly, this deck seems pretty good. A little low, a little light on the top end and stuff. But Double Tracker, Double Thespian, pretty nice. Some kind of like iffy white cards in here. Skyward and Son of a Gateway. I think I overvalue this card early. It just doesn't work out as often as you would like it to, even with like double Isaac attacks and stuff. It's just like not that exciting, honestly. Don't need good cards. Don't need cards to make this card good. It's already good. We had a 5-card deck to follow. Went 1-3 with, and little Urn of Godfire, Invasion of Alara. Not much else, honestly. This looks pretty bad. Has a card like Zephyr Slinger. It's not really good in the 5-card deck. It's a good rare, but it's amazing rare, but not very good in this deck. Kind of lacking. When you are the 5-color deck, you need to have enough good reasons to be 5 colors. This deck didn't seem to really have that. Another Black-White deck, another 6-3. Again, looking pretty good. Norn's Inquisitor, obviously very, very nice. Awakening's pretty good. Sensor pretty good in the Black-White deck. Innistrad, excellent. Some good rares. A Yorion. I'm much surprised this is like only went 6-3. Yorion's also insane in this deck, bouncing all of your Awakenings and stuff. We had Jeskai next for a pretty ugly 1-3. This is mostly just like this is like the double Contorius deck, right? Yeah, just the red and the white cards aren't very exciting, and the blue cards here couldn't really pull their weight. Too many bad cards. Depth Guard, Analyst, just a pretty ugly deck, honestly. The card quality is so high, so much you should never have a bad card in your deck. 2-3 with green black. Also not the most exciting color combination. Processor, Thespian, Tracker. A lot of the good green things happening here, but nothing really to ramp into it. Nothing really big besides like a Krungus. So not super exciting. Blue-white. Not really knights. Just sort of like blue-white spells almost. Kind of interesting. We see 5-3 here. Sea Double great. Boonbringer Valkyrie great. Kind of like half knights, half not though, which is a little awkward for sure. Here's a blue-white deck that went 7-2, 7 wins. Anaphengia, Dust Legion Duelist, got the Marshal, Citadel Sentinels, Preening Champion, Protocol Knight. Just a nice looking Knights deck, which is cool. Another 5-color deck. What's the star of this deck? We've got a Lutri. Oh, this is the Lutri deck. This is a deck that looked a little ugly, but Lutri's just so freaking good that it carried the whole way through. Lutri's just so phenomenal. Just so good. Nimbus Reborn. Kind of a little more of a meme deck than anything else, but next up was a blue-black deck splashing white for Kenrith. And blue-black, one of the best archetypes in the format, and this deck's why. It's very easy to see. All these cards are just excellent. Got Captive Weird and good low curve, good spells, good removal, a couple bombs. Breach of Multiverse, one of the best rares in the set. So pretty convincing looking 7-1. Another 7-1 with a 5-color deck. Invasion of Alara, Nimbus Reborn, Glissa. You get the idea. Connoisseurs are great. Again, more Burgeonings, more Portent Trackers. You know, I played 5-color Green at the Pro Tour, or 4-color Green, I guess, and obviously a big fan of the deck. Blue-white again, a little more, some more, again, kind of Knights, kind of not. There's definitely some, like, you can do some sort of blue-white Incubator stuff here. Inquisitor, Corruption of Tawashi, and so on and so forth. But pretty good card quality here. Pretty good looking deck. Not so good here, Boros. It's just very hard to make a functional Boros deck. The cards just aren't good enough. This deck had double Mirror Sheet Hoplite, you know, but triple Swordsworn Cavalier, but it just wasn't good enough. The cards just aren't really there, unfortunately. The deck's too good. Another multicolor green deck. This one mostly base blue-black. Converter Beast, Invasion of Lauren. Red for Spite. Kind of a a scrappy, crappy one here, honestly, but able to get it done. Red green again, just not that exciting. Red green, it kind of has like this like battle theme. Doesn't really work out that well. Triple frontliner. I mean, double invasion of Argantha, invasion of Tarkir. Deck looks pretty good, but all in all, just didn't really work out. I was stuck with a 1-3. We went Sultai, our second to last draft. Imperiosaur, Emoti. Again, sort of like the multicolor green stuff. Siege Shark. I'm surprised this deck didn't do better, honestly. Siege Shark stuff's really, really good. Triple Negotiator, kind of weird. And then our last deck was the deck that actually didn't look very good. Just kind of like blue-green stuff. But Tribute to the World Tree is excellent. You can get this card in your deck. It's really, really good. Double Dispersal, Triple Thespian, Double Hunger, so you have a lot of kill spells. Corruption, Emotes for some card advantage. Ravnica's a great invasion, and somehow got 7 wins of that one too. So I think we can see in the results here also that, red-green, red-white, a little rough. So definitely a format you want to try to be one of the Sultai colors, but you can do lots of things if they're open. And you can go wild too. You see here a lot of 4 and 5 color decks. There's a lot of power, a lot of rares in this format. So setting yourself up with cards like Portent Tracker and Blighted Burgeoning to be able to play all these rares you open is a great place to be. Taking lands. I think it's very important in this format to stay open. You really want to be as open as possible. You want to make it so if you open up some cool off-color rare in Pack 2, you have some sort of avenue to get into it. Maybe it's taking dual lands. Maybe it's not taking double-colored cards. For example, like the white 1 O-Ring. Hate that card. Because it's so limiting. If you're not exactly very heavy white, you just can't play it. Whereas most removal spells you can splash. Cards like that, want to stay away from. Want to stay as open as possible. Get those rares in your deck and do the best you can. Crazy format, lots of fun. Overall, I enjoyed it a lot. Probably one of the best draft formats in the last few sets. And I really enjoyed it. So hopefully you enjoyed it too. That was this series of Bronze to Mythic. Up next is going to be the Lord of the Rings set, which will also be prepping for a Pro Tour, and Pro Tour Lord of the Rings is going to be in July. So look forward to that. Going to be a lot of fun, honestly. It's a set that's going to be made for Modern in paper, but will be historic set on Arena. So it'll be pretty high power level. Should be a lot of fun. Looking forward to it. Should be really, really cool. But for now, like, comment, subscribe. We'll do a little off-season stuff. We'll do a draft that takes the wheel. We'll do a bonus draft or two, and go over my Arena Open draft as well. Should be a lot of fun. All right, thanks for watching, folks. Appreciate it. I'll see you next time. I'm Jim Davis. Bronze to Mythic. Wrap it up.